Turning now to Brunswick, where 3 men stand accused of killing 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. The potential jury pool in the murder trial for the men charged with Arbery's death is now halfway to the number of 64 potential qualified jurors. That's the number that they need. And On Your Side's Kaylee Tracy has been following it all and breaks down the first day of week 2 of jury selection.
9 more potential jurors qualified Monday for a total of 32. Just like several who qualified last week, some Monday no key players in the case. Ahmaud Arbery's aunt says that's not surprising considering the size of Glynn County, but she says the family is frustrated by the pace of the process.
I don't know what the holdup is. I don't think it's too much they can do about the jury because everybody in the world saw this, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like they're trying to drag on for something. But they don't know what it's doing to the family. You know, my brother, his mama, sister and brothers, aunts and uncles, it seems like we just gonna keep going on and on and on. And
the judge has asked for patience in a process that could last until next Wednesday. One of those selected Monday said he took part in the I Run with Maud campaign and said the family deserves closure. Also on Monday, defense attorney Kevin Goff complained that Arbery's father, Marcus Arbery Sr., nodded at a juror when he walked into the courtroom. That juror ultimately selected as well. Goff raised a similar concern last week after one potential juror gave Arbery's father a thumbs up. On another day, he objected to a button he said Arbery Sr. wore in court featuring logos of social justice groups. Arbery Sr. and his supporters say Goff needs to stop with the pushback.
This hostility towards Mr. Arbery really needs to stop. I mean, I know that he's trying to represent his client, but that doesn't mean you get hostile to a family member.
Court resumes at 8:15 Tuesday morning. Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News, On Your Side.
With this second week of jury selection getting underway, we want to dive into what attorneys from both sides have to get through to get the jury selected. Our legal analyst, LaFonda Middleton, is joining us now in the studio. And LaFonda, the biggest takeaway from day 5, there's a lot of people in the jury pool who know or they're related to key people in the case. We know a change of venue has not been requested. How do you think this will affect the trial?
Yeah, that's right. A change of venue has not been requested by either side. In this case, what the attorneys are looking for are jurors who can be fair and impartial. Regardless of whether or not they know the defendants or not, or know key witnesses, is whether they can be fair and impartial. And if they can indicate that and the attorneys and the judge is assured that they can do that, then they can be chosen to be on the jury.
And also, LaFonda, once they get down to the final 64, what if the defendants believe they don't have a fair jury pool?
They can still request that the judge either declare mistrial at that point because they don't have a good, fair and impartial jury pool. They can request that venue be changed at that point and have, a full-blown hearing on that and let the judge decide whether or not it should be moved or not. They will have options, but if the judge finds that the jurors that were chosen were very well vetted and he believes that they can be fair and impartial, then that trial will proceed right there in Brunswick.
And LaFonda, defense attorney Kevin Goff claimed Ahmaud Arbery's father nodded at a juror. He asked the judge to, quote, do something to make sure jurors aren't being influenced. And this is after he was accused by the same attorney of wearing a button of a civil rights leader in the courtroom. What is the balance between allowing family full courtroom access and what might be seen as pressure on potential jurors?
Yeah, so here in the state of Florida, victims have the absolute right to be present at every phase of a trial and every phase of the process, even leading up to the trial. I can imagine it's probably the same in Georgia, that the victim has a right to be there and be present. However, the victim does not have a right to influence the jury, to basically testify without testifying. So likely what the judge will do in that case is admonish the father, maybe talk to him sidebar out of the presence of any potential jurors and let him know what's accepted in the courtroom and what's not accepted in the courtroom.
LaFonda Middleton, our legal analyst, thank you for joining us in the studio tonight.